Hello and welcome to Weekending. On this episode, I get a vampire facial. Is it really worth all the pain? Take a look. Also, with cold waves in North India, let's shop for shawls together and find out why Taj decided to open a brand new boutique hotel in Delhi in the middle of the pandemic. We begin this episode with a vampire facial, also known as a platelet-rich plasma facial. I'm now with dermatologist Dr. Aditi S. Bajaj. Doc, should I be nervous?
So vampire facial is a bit tricky because people feel, you're withdrawing blood and then you're infusing and then there's microneedling. But honestly, with the new age technology and with all probably the numbing and everything, it's great. You will be very comfortable.
Kim Kardashian said that the facial was extremely painful. Is it because she was not wearing a numbing cream?
So yeah, probably, in the West, because they're very adventurous, so they don't want to actually have the first layer as the numbing. But over here in India, we usually put a numbing which is probably from half an hour to 40 minutes and it's very comfortable.
The treatment is also recommended for great hair. How does that work?
So PRP is actually, I call it liquid gold. It's amazing. So it has these growth factors and bioactive proteins which really help you to enrich your skin or your hair, help with skin rejuvenation, or act as actually supporters for your hair cells and really make your hair stronger.
At what age can people do a vampire facial?
I usually recommend a lot of people come in their teens also actually that early or in their early 20s. I usually say around 30s is a great time to probably start with this treatment if you're looking for facial rejuvenation or if you're looking for hair density or if you're looking for hair loss procedures, hair regrowth. It's great to start in your 30s.
How many treatments should one undergo before seeing a real impact?
So, usually one treatment also gives you great results. It helps you in improvement around 30 to 40 or probably a magnitude of 50% also. But 3 to 4 treatments every month actually gives you 100% great results.
Any downtime to the process?
So the downtime is actually 2 to 3 days. If you actually increase the intensity is maximum 5 days, but after 5 days you can go back to your makeup, you can go back to your serums, everything. But sun protection, which goes on for at least a week, strict sun protection, that's the only thing that you have to take care of.
What is the post-treatment maintenance one needs to keep in mind?
Then probably we go into a maintenance program, which is probably once or twice a year, once in 6 months, then you can probably get it done.
What are the results and changes that people do see after a vampire facial?
The first thing after actually a week, because you see new collagen production, you find that the tone of your skin is better, the texture of your skin is better. You find yourself, finding those little the lines and the wrinkles, them smoothing out. So when you see those little imperfections going away from your face or you feel your face is tighter, you get actually addicted to this procedure.
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Yay. The process is simple. First, the numbing cream is applied, then the blood is taken out. This is converted into a plasma-rich serum by this centrifugation machine. Then the serum made of blood is infused in the skin with the help of microneedling. At the end of the facial, one sees tiny bleeding points or the face becomes red, as in my case, and that's why it's called a vampire facial. The benefits include glowing, rejuvenation and plumping of skin, which I will discover after 2 to 3 days of downtime. Doctors recommend this treatment once a month, about 3 times for visible changes. After which they suggest a maintenance treatment once in 6 months. This is the end of the vampire facial. My face is red. Was the treatment uncomfortable? Not at all. And the aftermath of the treatment will be found out in 2 to 3 days, no?
Yeah, in 2 to 3 days.
In 2 to 3 days. So till then, wish me luck. Well, if the vampire facial is not for you, then how about treating yourself to a shawl? Mubashir Andrabi, co-founder of Andrab in Jaipur, tells us what people are buying in the middle of the pandemic.
My name is Mubashir Andrabi and I'm one of the co-founders of the label called Andrab. From Kashmir, we primarily do Pashmina shawls, which is our forte, and we can show you different types of Pashmina shawls that are being done in the part of our country, in the valley. The most popular trends and designs, we at Andrab like to keep it timeless, and I think one of those examples is a piece like what we know as Rang Biranga. This is an idea which originated or which took seed with a karigar of ours, and a lot of yarn which is left with us with every production. We mixed and matched, and there was this combination that was born, and now every piece that we do is absolutely unique, one of a kind, and this has been one of our best sellers. And I think in the last year or two there has been this huge trend of the ikats. We in India love colors, as we all know, so this is our tribute to the color savvy Indian. And not to miss the finest embroideries, which have always been at the heart of our collection. See the best of Sozni embroideries. We start the range anywhere from 15,000 rupees, and it can go all the way into a few lakhs and above, depending on the amount of embroidery a shawl would have, or the time that it has taken us to make one piece. But generally 15,000 rupees is our starting point, and it goes all the way, like I said, into lakhs of rupees. For sure, sales have been impacted by the whole pandemic, and I would say like a lot of us in the tourism world, we have been hugely impacted, and we are trying to negotiate, find different ways of reaching out to people here, and I think online is what everybody is going to. And I think it might be just the saving grace for the time being, but hopefully, as everything goes back to the pre-pandemic, like they say, and we all start rolling again. I think overall, if you talk about the numbers, I think there's a good 60-70% of revenue loss that I think most businesses would agree on, that that has been definitely a big like loss for everyone related to anything that's handcrafted. It's not only the tourism, anything that is it's all interrelated in a way, but you'd say good 60-70% of revenue loss. Well, the last year definitely has changed a lot throughout the world. There's a lot of negatives, fine, but there's also a lot of positives that have come in, especially we being in an era of being online, say for example, and everybody is trying to see how they can reach, maximize their reach and reach it to people who have been their buyers before, or creating, getting to new buyers and clients, and I think while the sales have been impacted, we are still trying to negotiate, because it's a new curve for a lot of us to understand how we can get into that space. Well, there's a huge change, definitely, since we're very new to the medium. We've just launched a few months ago, but we do see there's a huge, interest in terms of, because someone like us, we're not online, and there are people from all across the globe, who are getting in touch and slowly but surely, liking the fact that we're also online, and we see, there's a good amount of interest and business that, we're hoping and saying that, it will come through online as well. Supply and production of shawls has definitely been impacted because of the whole pandemic. But, we're working on things, us as a brand, this has given us time to rethink, re-strategize, how we can do things better. But definitely, our whole cycle of how we, the production has been kind of impacted. If you have to take care of it, because it's a precious thing, you have to, when you're not using it, I'd always advise that you put in a Ziploc. Either use the desi nuskas of putting neem ka patta. The best way to take care of a silk carpet is like, one silk, what we make in Kashmir is absolutely robust. It is, the more you use it, the finer they get. It's also like how we have the shawls, the more you use them, the finest pashmina, the real quality pashmina, the more you use them, the better they become, With carpets, you have to be, careful in terms of, whenever you're not using them, just roll them up nicely, and if you can tie them and put them away. And don't keep them in a damp place. If we want to, say, go and buy the best shawls, more authentic shawls, you have to look for people who have dedicated themselves to it. And I think the source is very important. The source here, I mean not only the brand that you're buying from, also how they're sourcing their pashmina. Is it the Changthangi pashmina, or is it something else that is coming from all across the globe and gets, makes its way to Kashmir, and then it's kind of, recycled or remade or whatever they do and then sent out. There's a very handful of people who work, and we feel very fortunate to be amongst that small lot of people. Pashmina, authentically, if you look at pashmina, there are very three important things. One, it has to be light. When I mean to say light, it has to be also, I can say it's weightless, but the warmth is unparalleled, because it comes from, it's sourced from the real goat, the warmth is absolutely unparalleled. It's the softest, warmest, and the lightest. These are three very basic qualities for you to understand what the real pashmina is all about. And having grown up in Kashmir to a certain age, and I would like to say this, we can, sign off with it, is that, pashmina provides you with warmth. Warmth is synonymous to love, which is also synonymous to peace. There has been a lot of things that have been going on, but this is over the last so many centuries in our part of the country, in Kashmir, this is one thing that has kept us going. I hope you got to understand a little bit of shawl making and what you should look into while you are buying a shawl. So happy buying from all of us at Andhra.
Time for a break. When we come back, we take you to the brand new Connaught Hotel in New Delhi. Welcome back to Weekending. Now I'm at the brand new Connaught Hotel by the Taj in New Delhi. The hotel offers 104 rooms and is built on almost an acre. Let's find out more about the property as we meet the General Manager, Sonali Chauhan. Sonali ji. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Beautiful property.
Thank you.
Should we walk through?
That's the lobby, that's the look and feel.
Stunning. Sonali, the hotel, the Connaught opened in New Delhi on the 20th of November 2020. Why did Taj decide to open a hotel in the middle of the pandemic?
We were originally supposed to open this in 2019 November, which didn't really take place due to certain reasons. And then the plan was to open it in April 2020, but then the pandemic hit us. And because of that, we've opened it now. It was a delayed opening owing to the pandemic.
Taj has so many hotels all over Delhi. What makes the Connaught different?
So this is a boutique property that we've launched, and the look and feel and the design makes it very, very different from the other properties that we have in the city.
Define the personality of a Connaught visitor to us.
The Connaught visitor is a business and a leisure visitor. We're experiencing both kind of visitors so far. Also, a lot of trendy crowd and a younger crowd is coming in. I think it also, the look and feel of the hotel is very vibrant, and that's what attracts the younger generation, or should I say the Generation Z. But we've been seeing a lot of age groups that are coming in, be it the 70 plus or the 18 and the 20 and the 25 and the 30-year-olds. They all are happy to visit the property, and they're coming back again and again. The business travelers have been coming in a lot, along with leisure travelers, and we've seen a rise in staycations, and mostly to do with pets that we call as petcations that are happening a lot these days. People can't step out owing to the pandemic, so they're only traveling to neighboring states, or they're coming in and visiting us with their pets because we're a pet-friendly hotel.
According to you, how has hospitality changed during the pandemic?
Hospitality in terms of service has not changed, but we've become more cognizant of the protocols that we need to follow, and keeping the hygiene and sanitation being primary. But from a hospitality point of view, yes, the business has been affected due to aviation being shut completely, and we're not being able to bring in international crowd. Other than that, the hospitality remains the same.
Take us through the design and aesthetics of the property.
Our designer is Christian Lundwall. He's based out of Sweden, and his company is called Studio King. He's the one who's designed the entire hotel. He's brought in a lot of color and there's vibrancy. Normally you don't find this in hotels. So there's a lot of color which has been used in this property. And it's also been inspired by the Georgian architecture of Connaught Place that we have. So it's a mix of luxury and art deco, and has a lot of color, like I said, but its character is more bold and chic and contemporary.
You said staycations are big. So what are the views that one can see from the rooms at the Connaught?
So we're in the heart of city, we're in the heart of Connaught Place. We overlook the Shivaji Stadium and the turf. Had we have matches happening there, it would be the best place to be taking your rooms. Also, we're close to all the spirituality points in and around CP. We've got Bangla Sahib, Gurdwara, we've got the Sacred Heart Cathedral, we have Hanuman Mandir, and you can also spot the Rashtrapati Bhavan from the rooms. So from a look and feel point of view, you can see all of CP in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. The food looks delicious. Let's dive in. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Weekending. Thank you so much for watching.